All right, the biggest difference that I noticed between Black Americans and Africans with this whole conversation about delineation is not how they look, it's how they think. Black Americans are very much community based. That is how they were able to be successful in the civil rights movement. That is how we're able to do economic boycotts and be successful. That is how Black Americans are arguably the most successful and influential Black people in the world. Whereas Africans, they are 54 country, thousands of tribes. They don't see kinship based on Blackness. They don't think of you as their brother or sister because of your complexion. And that is the key difference between the two. So you can't expect them to come to America and all of a sudden change their mindset and say, I see this Black American as my brother and sister, somebody I should look out for, somebody I should, like. And because we share a common struggle, or we have a common goal, I don't see it as that. It's about me, my tribe, my family, and about us elevating. So this is why people are saying delineation is important, because you have individuals who look like the collective, benefiting off the collective, but they don't have the collective mindset. Black Americans are very much, how is it going to affect the whole? We know we are judged on the whole. Anytime anything happens, like this mass unaliving the other day, and it's a brother, why he have to do us like that? We look at it as a community. Whereas Africans, they say, that's that person. Do not judge everyone. We are not all like that. That's the first thing we saw is skin color. We didn't look at, there was a shooter who did this, judge that person. We know America is going to look at, that was a Black man. This is what Black people do.
These are very uncomfortable truths, but sometimes we have to face them as Black people. There's a lot to talk about in this video, especially when we're comparing Black Americans and Black Africans. There's a lot to talk about, and there's a lot of differences. The reason why Black Americans are influential in the world, obviously, is because they have also learned certain ways and developed certain ways and become certain ways because they are in the Western societies. It's different than Africa, especially in terms of being competitive and wanting more. The Black Americans understood that idea, but Black Africans have not mastered that. Black Africans, we are lazy and so relaxed, and we wallow in our excuses and believing in our victimhood. But not today. I want to talk about this issue of unity, of coming together. She's really put it clear and straightforward that, Black Americans can be able to come together and do something, rather than Africans, which are so divided and into these small little 54 countries. Not only are we divided along the lines of the borders and the countries, but tribalism is a problem, and we have to face it. As much as we can talk about the greatness of being a diverse society and a diverse culture, but it is a big challenge within our societies to come together, to understand each other, to speak with one voice, and to unite. More than anything, we hate each other as Black people. We don't want to see another Black person succeed. We want to pull each other back. That is how we survive in our African societies. We don't want to see another Black person succeed. We don't know how to support each other. If someone comes with an idea, we cannot organize ourselves and be together and think in the same way and unite and do something. Other people from other continents and other races, they look at us and be like, come on, what's wrong with them? Can't they understand that they need to come together so that they can build a better future? But we as a people, we cannot do that. I always laugh when white people meet, when they greet each other. They don't care where they come from. They don't ask. The first question is not, where do you come from? Are you from Germany or Russia or whatsoever? They start discussing about business, and then later on they will end up saying, oh, where is that guy from actually? Maybe he sounds like he's from Europe or whatever. But as Black people, the first thing that we want to know, hi, we greet each other, where do you come from? The first thing is we must identify each other in terms of tribe. Tribalism is more important than anything. You speak that language and I speak that language. It means you are not one of us. That is how Black people think. That is how we function, which makes it difficult for us to unite in doing anything. Everything is always have to be in lines of tribalism. I only vote for someone who is from my tribe. If a certain president is elected and then he is from a certain tribe, he's going to make sure everybody who he works with, all the cabinet ministers are from that tribe. Then it becomes a problem. That's why we have violence and violent clashes, because of those things. Instead of cherishing the idea that we are all black people or we are all Africans, we are all from the same country, we value so much the differences between us because we are from a different tribe. When they are talking about black hate or self-hate, it's not necessary that you hate yourself. No, it means you hate someone who looks like you. That's why our societies are so popular with witchcraft. Is because we couldn't help it. We hate each other so much that we had to invent and come up and start using these dangerous things to hate each other. Witchcraft is because you hate someone. You end up going to a witch doctor to get something in order to destroy someone because you hate them, because you don't like them and you don't like seeing them prosper or succeed in their lives. We come from a society where each and every family must go to a witch doctor or a sangoma, look for something to protect themselves. They had to be involved into those things in order to protect yourself. No family could just go on and live without having to visit a witch doctor and get something in order to protect yourself, something voodoo in order to protect yourself. And the question is, from who? It's because everybody else is trying to destroy each other. It's because of hate. Our hearts are filled with hate, jealousy, and we can't help it. We don't want to see another black person prosper or be happy. We always want to pull each other down instead of coming together and unite and build our better society and a prosperous society. We act like crabs in a bucket because we are trying to pull each other the whole time. When one tries to get out, the other one will try to grab that one so that they can all fall down. We all go back down. We don't want to see other black people succeed. We fight along these tribal lines, one tribe killing each other. It still exists today, and it's so sad, and we should be talking about it, and we should rebuke those behaviors, and rather than to pretend like it doesn't exist. We blame colonization and say colonization divided us, but the reality is not only blaming colonization for dividing us. In so many instances, we were already divided before anybody else tried to divide you. Sometimes the enemy without doesn't do no harm, but if there's no enemy within, if inside of you don't have divisions, those manipulators and neo-colonizers or whoever wants to fund terrorism cannot have a way, because they have a way because you're already divided within yourself. You're already hating each other and you already fight each other. So that's why they just come and supply you weapons so that you can kill each other even more. But because we are stupid and we accept it, and we go on with it and kill each other, because deep inside ourselves we hate ourselves, we don't love ourselves, we don't love each other, and we don't seek to understand each other, and we don't seek to unite. There is no justification whatsoever why we still have those borders. If you believe these borders were drawn by colonizers, why haven't we gotten rid of them yet? It's been 64 years after Kwame Nkrumah has been speaking about us coming together, but nothing has been done. Before we blame colonization for dividing us, we are already divided on our own. We cannot speak in one voice. We cannot come together. We cannot reason and think for ourselves so that we can build our own societies and better societies.